never knew about healing.
I know, right?
Oh my
Mm.
God. So it's been a journey, right? And by the way, we're not done, right?
Right, never done.
Not
No.
done, never done. There's always things going on. There's times when you think you healed from something and then something gets revealed to you
Yeah.
and you realize that you have not been healed.
Hmm. Not at
So,
all.
yes. And then there's also times where other things just happen.
There we go.
Or sometimes you don't do the healing, so then you end up traumatizing yourself again and you compound the healing. So,
Mhm.
healing
Mhm.
is ongoing, it's something that we will continue to do.
Forever and ever.
But where we are in our healing journey, we have learned a lot.
I would say learned a ton.
We've learned a ton.
Yeah.
So, we are going to come up with 13 things
Mhm.
that we never knew. I never knew.
Yeah.
What comes to mind?
So off bat, I think you've already said one that, there's no end date
Yes.
to healing. There is no completion. I think, when I was younger and even like when I was play healing, like I think for me it was like, oh, like once you get over something, then you're done. Like there's nothing else for me to do. Like I've reached the healness that I needed. So I think I had this, misconception in my head that once I was able to get over, a hurt or a trauma or something like that, then I felt like, okay, well, I've completed my healing. Like I don't need to do anything else. I'm done.
Mm,
But we know now that that's not true because once you heal something, then something else is going to reveal itself that also needs to be healed.
okay.
So,
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think another thing that I didn't realize is that there's a transformation that has to happen,
mm-hmm.
right? Like once you if something impacts you enough, right, you actually change, but there's sort of this fork in the road where you can choose to become one thing. You can choose to become what hurt you,
Mm-hmm.
or you can choose to use the hurt to be more compassionate to other people,
That's
right?
good.
Or to reach the people that might, be going through the thing that you went through.
Yeah. No, that's really good too. Um, and I think choosing the correct the road less traveled, I will say, of not becoming the things that hurt you, because it's much easier to become those things that hurt you because you can be like, well, this is who I am, this is what I know, this is how I grew up, blah blah blah. So it's always much easier to do that versus making the choice and standing in it and choosing to be the opposite, and to learn from those past traumas. So I think that one is like, whoa, kind of like mind blowing that you didn't know that.
Yeah, because well, you have to realize that you're even hurt. I think a lot of times
Hmm.
we get so comfortable with the trauma or the pain,
Yeah.
right? And maybe even just excusing the trauma and the pain. Or maybe sometimes it can even be that people are uncomfortable with our trauma or our pain. So then to appease them, we put on, right,
Yeah.
the facade. And then you do it for so long, it becomes who you are.
Hmm.
So then
Hmm.
there is no healing, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't even realize it, but you are probably becoming what hurt you,
Yeah. I
right?
think we said that too, like on another show, like what is healing anyway, where we was just like, well, first of all, it's acknowledgement. Like you have to acknowledge that you're even hurt, or you have to acknowledge that you've even been through this like traumatic experience. So I think that is a great thing that you should know, when you start your healing journey. That don't dismiss that factor.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Indeed.
That is really good. I think another one for me, like something I didn't know about healing, was the emotional roller coaster that you're in for.
Yes.
um there are so many highs and lows and low lows and high highs, and that can be exhausting, where it will kind of, at least for me, I can't speak for everybody else, but sometimes it makes me feel like, okay, well, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, why me, Lord? Like, why do I have to go through this and do this? um because it is a lot of emotions involved, and you have to take on that for yourself. Like I can't unload those emotions that I have or the feelings that I'm feeling onto anybody else. Like I have to face them and deal with them, and sort them out so that I can continue on with healing. So I think for me that was another thing of, wow, I didn't know I was going to get on this emotional roller coaster with myself for healing. So it's really like back and forth, like, girl, like, why would you do that? And then it's other days where it's like, bitch, you doing a good job, bitch, you doing it. So it's like back and forth. Like it's so crazy because the other day, like I really had like was yelling at myself, like, girl, get yourself together. Do what you said you was gonna do. Like, I'm sick of it. Like, I was really like, I'm sick of this to
Mhm.
myself. Like, I'm sick of it. You're not doing what you said you was gonna do, and you gonna be whining about it in a couple months because you didn't do what you said you were gonna do. And
Right.
now here we
Here
are.
we are. I was just gonna say, child, that's my favorite saying. Here we are.
Here we
Okay.
are.
Here it is.
So I was literally having this kind of like, so on the outside looking in, people will probably think like you're nuts, like you're really
Well,
like
it's a
going in on
battle
yourself. Yeah.
because you're fighting with the old you,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
No, I agree. I agree. And speaking in that same vein, the idea that it's a transformation.
Mhm.
So I was hearing Pastor Jerry Flowers talk about
Mhm.
this whole analogy with a butterfly and a moth, right? And how a
Mhm.
caterpillar goes into a cocoon and it's connected with other caterpillars, right?
Yeah.
So you got a bunch of caterpillars. They all friends because they all caterpillars. They into the same caterpillar stuff. I
You
don't know
know.
what they do, but
Hey.
they're into caterpillar stuff. But then when they go into a cocoon, they come out and some of them are moths and some of them are
Mm.
butterflies, right? And moths are nocturnal, they only fly at night. Butterflies are in the day. Now you're not aligned, now
Yep.
you're not the same, right? So I think it's the idea of the transformation and the idea that you might lose attachment to some
Mm.
people and some things because things have changed, you have changed,
Yeah.
right? And so nothing wrong with a moth, nothing wrong with a butterfly, but they're not the
They're
same.
not the same.
They started off the same.
Yep.
And I think that that's the thing that I've learned is that healing is a journey.
Yeah.
So you may start somewhere and end somewhere else, and along the journey you might lose interest in some things,
Sure.
right? Because it's like, yeah, that was good for me then,
Right.
but that's not good for me now,
Yep.
right? Like my response back then was to yell at you, but now it's just I don't find that productive, so I can't do that
Mhm.
anymore.
Yep.
Or, my relationship with this person was valuable then, but in this new season, it's gonna cause more harm than good. So
Mm.
I think it's one of those things where it's like putting it into perspective and understanding that it's a journey and things are going to literally change.
I love
Journey
that.
means that you are moving somewhere. So we're
Mhm.
not being
Being
idle.
stagnant.
We're
Yeah.
not being stagnant. Things are going to be shaken up.
That is, I really love that analogy. Shout out to Jerry Flowers. I like him a lot. But that was a really great analogy. Like we could start off the same, but through this process, we might go separate ways, and that's okay. Like nothing's wrong with you, nothing's wrong with me. We're just not in this same space anymore, and
Right.
that's
You just
okay.
fly at night and I
Right.
gotta
And I'm
fly in the
just
day.
in the
And I have to
daytime.
fly in the day now.
Yeah.
I have to. When I
Mm.
was a caterpillar, I could do
What
what
caterpillars do?
caterpillars do.
We was eating.
Right. Well, we was in the mud is what we was being pretty dirty. Okay. So when I was dirty,
I was thinking of the very hungry caterpillar. We was eating all that stuff.
I'm like, caterpillar. When he started off with the analogy, I was like, where is this going? I don't like bugs,
Right.
Jerry.
You done
Okay.
lost me because now we're talking about the insects and
Right.
I'm out.
I do not like. Okay.
Okay.
But then I
I'm
was like,
out.
butterflies are pretty.
Oh,
Lakita likes butterflies.
beautiful. Yeah, butterflies are beautiful. And it's so funny because I'm scared of moths. So,
And that's what I thought was so amazing about the analogy
hmm
is because, child, there was a moth in my house like probably 3 months ago, and you would have thought that well, you know,
I
because
already
you
know.
know,
Yeah,
I almost died.
I
Okay,
believe it.
from me like hyperventilating because I was like, where'd it go? Oh, so I'm turning on all the lights, and so I'm like wherever I think it is, I'm like, because I'm googling Siri.
Mm,
How do you get them off to come out? This thing got to go.
yeah,
It's got to
because
go.
they scary.
They scary. So then I like tap. It was like on top of my cabinets. So I was
See.
like banging stuff on the cabinets because I was like, I think I saw it fly over here because they're quick too.
Mm-hmm.
That thing flew into the living room underneath the couch because it's trying to find the dark.
The
And I
darkness.
turned on all the
Yeah.
lights.
Yeah.
So then I put the light under there. That thing flew, and I'm like, oh. But
Oh,
butterflies. I was holding a butterfly in my hand trying to release it
yes. Go
a
to a
few months
butterfly
before,
garden and
right?
yeah.
So
Mhm. That's
I
so
don't know.
interesting. Yeah, moths they get the
But but are they not both caterpillars?
right. But moths get a bad. They got the short end of the stick because we don't like them.
Well, I mean, maybe it didn't heal right. I don't
Hey,
know.
I don't know.
I don't know
Listen.
what causes the moth. I'm sorry, I don't know what causes the caterpillar to become one or the other.
Yeah. We just went on a whole tangent, but it is related. But yes, I definitely would agree to that. Like sometimes we're not gonna go in
But
the
I ain't
same
gonna lie, if a
spaces.
butterfly's in my house, I'm an act a fool. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, with a butterfly?
Yes, why are you here? There was a ladybug in my house, and I was like,
Ladybugs are weird too.
I just look. The key word is bug. Okay, lady
Yeah.
bug.
Cause now they not like the regular like red ladybug that you would see. They like be like orange and brown
I don't
and
care what it
nasty.
is.
So
They're
I'm
not.
scared.
I look. You gotta go. Same thing with butterflies. Why are you? I don't want anything in my house that can move.
Hey,
That's
right.
living.
What?
I don't want anything in my house. I'm not even playing. I'm serious. If you're not a human
That's
being,
living. Okay,
why
there
are
we
you
go. I'm
here?
about to say humans too, because I mean that could be true. Because every time I try to come to your house, you be like, no,
No, I know. Somebody was asking me too. So right now I do when he send me some flowers. Occasionally I do have people do send flowers. So I have flowers but
Oh.
look, they die like in a couple days because I'd be like, is that
Look
gonna attract
cute.
something? Because people are always like, do you have plants? No. No, because I don't want anything that attracts a spider or anything that thinks that it looks like something that it should live in.
That's
It's not
true.
habitable. I don't
Yeah.
want my home to be habitable to anything
Except humans.
except me.
That's
So,
it.
time to go.
Hilarious.
I don't open window. Do you? No, I don't. I do not. I don't open. I don't do none of that. I won't. I'm not inviting any bugs in.
Listen, yeah, you ain't wrong. Cause yeah,
Just let it breathe. No, no breeze.
no. We got it airtight around this
I'm
piece.
talking airtight. Okay. Thank you. You know.
Oh my god.
And my mama open a window. No, this
Nope.
is not your home, lady.
As soon as
Ain't
I do
nobody
that,
opening no window up in here.
the bugs gonna think they live here too.
Exactly.
And that's,
Nope.
we're not doing that. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Moving right along.
We digress. But no, and I think for me another thing would be being in the mindset to heal. I think that's a huge one. You have to be ready to do that work and to be ready to heal for yourself. Because there were times where, I would say like, oh, I want to get over this but I'll just kind of bury it and keep moving on. But I think what really opened me up to being like, okay, you got to figure this out. Like there was just a point in time where I was just like, okay, I'm tired of this. Like I'm tired of the cycle. I'm tired of having these same issues with different people, but it's the same thing. So I'm the only common denominator. Like it's me. Like I need to fix me. So I think I kind of hit a rock bottom where I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm done. And that's kind of where I was the other day when I was kind of yelling at myself, like, now you got to be done. Like, stop making
So what was
excuses.
you yelling at yourself about?
So yeah, so I live in this beautiful apartment complex that has all these wonderful amenities, like a gym. I could literally go downstairs to a full gym. I mean, we got weights and dumbbells and machines and cardio machines. There's a
And gym
sauna,
mirrors.
balls,
My favorite part.
all kinds of things. There's a pool. So there's literally
A
no
jacuzzi.
excuse.
There's
A jacuzzi.
There's all kind of stuff.
Yo, when I tell you there's zero excuse as to why I shouldn't be working out every day, none. Like I don't have to pay for gym membership or anything because it's all at my house. And y'all, I don't even the floor that this stuff is on. I don't even go to this floor. Like I just go from the garage to my house, and that's it. Since I've been living there. So I really just got on myself. Like you say you want to be healthier for you. Like you say you want to change the way you look. You're not happy with the way you look, but you're not doing anything to change it. Like it's not gonna just the weight isn't gonna fall off just because you say you want it to. Like it took you all of these years to gain weight. Like it's not just gonna disappear because I want it to. Like I can't will it away.
Oh no.
I know, right? Thought I could pray it away. But no, it don't work like that, y'all. So I really like I just felt so sick and tired of myself. Like I was tired of my own stuff. Like, girl, get yourself together. And just start. Like it's not gonna be perfect, it's gonna hurt. Like, but okay, like just get started and keep going. So that's where I was having this conflict with myself and really going in on myself because I do want to be better in shape and I do want to feel comfortable in my skin and I do want to wear the clothes I want to wear, to be honest with you. So it's just like get yourself together. Like, and I look at my son who goes to the gym literally every day. Like, there's not a day that my son is not at the gym. And I'll watch him. I'll take him to the gym. Like, we dedicated. Like, you gotta go do what you need to do. I'll buy him stuff to make sure he's hydrated at the gym, and then I'll walk right past the gym at home. Like, girl, like, you have to put that same energy into yourself, the way you pushing your son, or you're supporting other people who are on their fitness journey. Like, why can't I get past the doubt of myself that I can be healthier, I can
Yeah.
be fit, I am strong? So those types of things where I was really like sick of my shit, like, I'm tired of it. Now you getting on your own nerve, like, and I'm sick of you. So I really like went on myself, like, dude, you gotta start. So yeah, that's what had happened. So when I
Yeah.
leave this recording today, I'm going to go to the gym. Like, I'm gonna be in there, even if I
Yeah,
do
we
some
gonna
jumping
we gonna
jacks.
ask her next Monday,
There we go.
y'all.
Ask me, and by next Monday, I should be a whole weekend because I'm gonna go
Right. I
every
know that's
day.
right. Look.
So that is it. Like, I'm gonna hit the gym, I'm gonna hit the sauna, and I'm gonna go upstairs and take a shower and go to bed. Like, that's the plan.
Look, you got to start the routine. But they always say that it's easier to start a new routine by attaching it to your current routine. So
Mm-hmm.
like if you come here in your workout clothes and then go home and go right to the gym, then it'll be like, I just did the podcast, now I got to work
Got to
out.
work out.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
But
Exactly.
no, I agree. I agree with all of that, right? The having the mindset and
Mm-hmm.
doing the work. The other one is, and Robin talked heavy about this when she was on. So shouts out to Miss Robin.
Yes, Robin Bloom.
Robin Bloom. Sis, let's clean up this mess. We
Mm-hmm.
got shit to do. That's the name of her
Amen.
book. So make sure y'all check that out. It's actually a workbook,
Yep.
I should say. It's called Sis, Let's Clean Up This Mess. We got shit to do.
Yes.
It is on Amazon.
Yep.
Her
Yep.
name's Robin Bloom. She snatched us by our edges.
She
But
really did.
so my next one would be about accountability,
Mhm.
right? And
Oh,
just
yeah.
realizing that, whatever you're complaining about, there's a part that you're playing. Either you're enabling it or you're allowing it or you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like you're participating. And if you don't like it, then stop enabling it or stop allowing for the circumstance to even exist, right? Because, you know, I was having this conversation at work with a group of people, and
Mhm.
look, I'm like, now let me not give too many details, but I was just like, how long are we going to tolerate that? Like,
Mm.
how long are we going to do this? Or are we going
Yeah.
to take an action? You know what I mean? Like, what are we going to do? Are we going to keep talking about it every week? Or are we going to do something?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
are we going to keep jumping on this call complaining, or are we going to actually do the thing that we keep saying that we're going to do, but we're not doing it? So
Yeah.
I think it's about honesty and accountability, and just realizing that there somehow I'm playing a part. Somehow I'm allowing this to happen. So what can I do to make it stop? If I indeed don't like it, or if it's really not serving me.
Amen. Yeah, that's a fact. Because we can enable ourselves. Like, we can be enablers of ourselves.
Oh,
For sure.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think the workout thing was a good example. But even I think
Ooh.
like procrastination,
Mm.
right?
That
Like
too.
just saying you're gonna do this, that, and the third, waiting to the last minute, putting yourself like the self-induced
Yeah.
just
Anxiety.
anxiety, the
Yeah.
self-induced trauma
Yeah.
sometimes too. Like when okay, like if you keep going back to the same dude and you already know he ain't treating you right, self-induced trauma, right? If you keep staying at the job knowing that it's toxic, self-induced trauma.
Indeed.
Right? Like, don't get me wrong, you may need an exit strategy. Everything isn't simple. You can't just always pick up and leave. But sometimes it's like you already know what it is.
Yeah.
And then you keep complaining about it, but then you keep accepting it. So,
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say with that Khloe Kardashian stuff. Like, at some point,
oh,
you
explain
gotta
that.
stop. So, okay. Here's our celebrity gossip
Oh,
section of the
God.
show.
Here we go. Shall
But
you fill me in? Because I don't be
if
knowing. I
you
be
don't
minding my
know,
business,
listen, and
child.
drinking your water, and it's showing. Listen. But if you don't know, so Khloe Kardashian has a child with Tristan Thompson, who is an NBA athlete. Their kid is like 3 or 4, maybe. So they've been together for quite some time. But he keeps allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly, cheating on her. And he has had another baby while they were together. Okay. So, the first time there was an instance where she said that another young lady, Jordan Woods, was like sitting on his lap, they kissed, and it was this big scandal. And Khloe Kardashian was like really going in on Jordan, like, you shouldn't did this, like,
Because they
you
were friends
yeah,
or
so
something like that, right?
Jordan and the sister, the little sister, I don't know which one, but one of the littler sisters, they
One
were
of the
friends.
Kardashian sisters?
Yeah, but the little ones.
Okay.
Okay. So they were friends. So she like, you know better, like you
Like, you
shouldn't have did
basically
this.
family.
Yeah, you family. Like, how could you
Okay.
do this? So
Well, them
just
be the ones, so
exactly. But just really like kind of threw her under the bus, like kind of made her like the scapegoat for his actions too. Like they were both doing this at this party. So then come to find out, like they had pictures of him of all these women going to his hotel rooms because again, he is an athlete, so he travels a lot. So all these pictures were coming out. And she would be like, okay, I'm leaving him. Like loyalty means nothing. Like posting all these quotes and stuff like that. And then she would take him back. So then we would see them pictured together, and it's like, oh, we trying to have another baby, blah blah blah. But then on this last instance, something came out where he got this woman pregnant. He tried to offer this lady $10,000 to have an abortion. She didn't.
wow.
She has the baby.
Whoa.
Yeah, he like that baby not mine. Blah blah blah. She has a
So
paternity
this is the
test.
second child
Yeah.
outside of the
Well, this is
relationship?
actually this is his second child outside the relationship with Khloe Kardashian, but he has another son that he had with the young lady prior to Khloe
Okay.
Kardashian.
Mhm.
So the baby ended up being his by paternity test. So now he has to pay
Of
all this
course.
money, right? And child support. Like, sir, like we knew it was yours because you be stay cheating.
Well, you wouldn't have paid the 10 grand if it
Right.
wasn't,
A
so
mess. So then now Khloe Kardashian is like, okay, well, like loyalty, like the people that hurt you the most aren't loyal or something. She posted on Instagram and people were kind of going in on her more so about her hand. But the way I
I
saw it
cannot.
was at some point you cannot continue to claim to be the victim when you made a conscious choice to allow him to continue this behavior in your face. Like at some
Mhm.
point we have to stop victimizing ourselves and take accountability for our part in the hurt that we're now having. So I really hope that she does start to see her part that she played in it, because after the very first time all these pictures with the young lady Jordan Woods came out, she could have been like, all right, like we clearly aren't aligned. I don't want to be with you no more. We got a kid together, great. We gonna co-parent, we gonna make it do what it do, but we don't need to be in a relationship. But she kept it going. And he cheated on her like several times publicly throughout their relationship. So my hope is that she doesn't continue to be a victim, because at some point we have to be accountable for our choices that we make. And it's unfortunate that that happened to her. So I never want to say, well, that's what she gets is her fault. But I do think she had a choice to stay. Like that was her choice to stay with him and stay in it. And she didn't have to be a victim. So there was that self-induced trauma that she gave herself. Like now you're compounding it. He hurt you once, he hurt you twice, he hurt you 3 times, 4, 5, 6. Like it kept going. And now you have to do all this healing work when you could have made a choice earlier along. Now that's easier said than done. I'm not in her situation. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done. But, I hate for people to be like, oh, she's a victim. Like, you'll be good, girl. Like, just, but no, like, she made a choice too. And you have to own up to that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, life is choices, right? So everything that we do
Hmm.
is certainly a choice, and it certainly has an impact, right? Every
Yeah.
choice that we make could change the trajectory of our lives. And I agree, she has a choice, but I do understand being so loyal to someone
Sure.
that that you actually abandon the loyalty to yourself, right? And I think that that's the gap that's actually one of the things that I learned too, right? Because um I consider myself to be a pretty loyal person,
Hmm.
but then there's a point in time where you have to say, like, wait a minute, is my loyalty to this person, this job, this thing, or whatever it is, actually causing me to be disloyal to myself?
Sure.
Because now I have to choose,
Hmm.
and I got to choose me,
Hmm.
right? So I hope that through her process that she learns to choose herself, and that's
Indeed.
easier said than done, especially when feelings and emotions and time and children are involved,
Yeah. And
right?
celebrity.
It gets very complicated. And then two, I think that and see, this is why I saw something this one day. It was like, give people a second chance but never a third.
Mm.
And I think it's because when somebody shows you who they are and you give them a chance to be different and they don't, it hurts so much worse
Yeah.
because you already knew, because you're not even mad at them, you're really mad at you,
Right. Because are
right?
they really different?
Because
Like
you
they
knew.
being
No,
them.
I think you're really mad at you. Well,
Yeah.
at least in like for me, when I found myself in situations like that, like when
Mhm.
my ex-boyfriend cheated on me and then cheated on me again,
Yeah.
I was really mad at me.
Because you knew.
I was mad at him for what he did because it's wrong, period. Like,
Sure.
this is the fact, like, cheating is wrong, period, right? But at the end of the day, I was like, I'm really mad at me because I already knew who you were.
Yep.
And
It's
I
that part.
chose to see you differently because of what you said. And that's why, like Matthew Hussey says, you need to put people on mute and just watch what they do.
Yeah. Same.
Stop
Yeah.
listening to what people say and watch what they do. And I mean, even in the Bible, it says, "Oh, I know that you love me by your deeds, not by you saying, God, I love you." Right? It's by what are you doing? Are
Absolutely.
you living the lifestyle? Are you keeping my commandments?
For sure.
Because if you love me, you'll keep my command. That's what
Right.
it says, right? So
Listen,
I don't,
you gonna do what they say.
I think it's hard, right? Because you have all those feelings and emotions involved, and then you got all these spectators watching. That's why I just try to mind my business,
Yeah,
child.
it's the
But
celebrity.
it's a lot involved in that. But and obviously, like if I think about myself, and I was young too, right? I was in my 20s, but I think it becomes difficult because you want to believe that they're not what you saw. So then when they tell you, no, that's not who I am, but like you want to believe it, you make a deliberate choice to believe it.
Mhm.
And then if they go back and do it again, you are upset and hurt by them. But ultimately, I think the real offense is with self because
Mhm.
you violated what you already knew to be true.
Indeed, that's all I'm saying. Like it's and maybe she will, and maybe she's headed that way, but definitely have to be accountable and see the role that you are in. So I definitely hope that for her, and because that is an awful situation to be in front of the world, at, at that point. So yeah, so that was our little sidebar
Yeah.
to being accountable in that
So
piece.
I'm gonna also add boundaries. I think
Hmm.
with healing comes boundaries,
Yeah.
right? Because you want to learn certainly from whatever the experience was, but you don't want it to happen again because if it happens again, then did you learn?
Right.
Is
Right.
the question.
Hmm.
So I think that one thing that is inherent with healing is a new standard,
Hmm.
right? So when I say boundaries, I'm talking in the sense of a standard of how I'm going to live, a standard of how I'm going to operate, and it's really a standard for you, right?
Yeah.
As Robin said, it's not really for everybody else. Now you may get caught in the crosshair,
Hmm.
right? But it's really for me. So if I and I know for me, like over the past few years, I've been like, you know what? I'm not doing like if it doesn't like these are my requirements, right? Like I don't accept last minute meetings, right?
Hmm.
Like even at work, nope, there's no agenda. I don't even know what I'm here for. No, this was not on my plan today. It was on your plan, but not on mine.
Yeah.
So try again next time, right? Maybe tomorrow. So I think it's one of those things where it's like, because you realize what it does to you where you're like that doesn't work for me, so it doesn't mean that I'm going to send an email out to the whole organization saying I don't accept meetings
Yeah.
that's that at the last minute, but it means that when you send me a meeting at the last minute I will decline,
Sure. Hmm.
and then I might say I don't accept meetings before that's less than 24-hour
Hmm.
notice,
Hmm. And
right?
that's completely fair for sure.
Right, or whatever your standard is. That's just an example, but I think it's just that's really what healing does is it shows you, okay, this is how you got here and this
Hmm.
is how you can prevent it. So to relieve your anxiety or you not getting done your priorities for the day, stop accepting last minute meetings, right?
Amen.
Stick to your plan for
Ooh,
the day. You wrote out your goals when you woke up this morning. We sticking to them goals,
got
and
to.
that wasn't in the plan.
Man,
We can work it
cause
in sometime next week if you'd like, maybe, but not today.
yeah, that anxiety is whoo a mug. I know all about the anxiety. For sure. So I think another one would also be, and I think you just touched on it a little bit too, but the healing journey is yours and yours alone. It's not for everybody else. People may not understand. Um they might look at you sideways, they may even be cheering you on, and those things are great or not so great, but it doesn't matter. Like it's not for anybody else. It's for you. Um So I think that is definitely something that I've learned. It's not for the applause or the accolades or the cheers or the people like, what you healing for? Like, you don't need to do that. I think you just okay, but I need to do this for me. And I think once you get that tunnel vision, like I'm doing this so I could be better version of what I was yesterday, 2 days ago. I'm trying to be better 2 weeks from now. So I think once you really get it in your mind, you get that tunnel vision of doing the work for yourself. I think then you're on the right path. But that is something that I knew it, but again, going back to another one that I said, you have to be ready for that journey. Period. So just being ready internally to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm doing it for me.
I'm gonna just expound on that, and I'm gonna say that we're on number 11 in case y'all were
Oh, okay,
counting.
we getting
But
there.
you're like, all right, Annie up. Okay, we
Okay,
might be able to get to
I'm
20.
just
Shoot.
saying.
I'm
Uh-uh.
just going to expound on that and add that it's personal and it's private,
Sure.
right? It is your
Mhm.
testimony. It belongs to you. I mean, you get to do it on your timetable. So I might be like, oh, Chanel, you should be done with that, feeling how you feel about your dad, right?
Mhm.
But that's not my experience. It's
Right.
not my journey, and I don't get to rush you through your process because it's
Mhm.
yours. Keyword here is you and yours.
Mhm.
And also that I don't have the right to exploit it, right?
Sure.
Because it's your story. It belongs to you. And same thing for me, right? It took me years with, like, if we gonna stick with that same example, it took
Sure.
me years to get to a healthy place with my dad. And it's not, it belongs to me.
Mhm.
Right. So somebody might be like, oh, it's been 3 years. You should
Right.
be. And it's like, oh, that's nice. Who asked you?
Right. First of all.
And mind your business.
Right. In those words,
Just so we're
maybe.
clear. Mind your
Please. And
business.
drink your water, okay?
Right.
Mm.
And in that same vein, right, I think that we have to learn to tell people that when they are crossing boundaries, like when they say stuff like that, like in that example,
Mhm. Mhm.
that's none of your business. And that's
Mhm.
all you need to say. You could say it however you want. You could tell them that's none of your business, or you could say, I'm not looking for any insight from you,
Mhm.
right? That's not, or like, this is actually a personal topic, and it's not open for discussion, right? There's many a ways that you could tell somebody to mind their business. I
Right.
suggest that you find whatever way works for you,
Hey,
and you tell them
and let it rip.
to mind their business.
Got to. Because it's best that you do that in this moment before, you have some other choice words that won't be so nice. Um, but wow, we're on 11. That's okay. We're doing really great. So I think another one, something that you may not know about healing, is that, mm, trying to think of how to say it. Another one for me would be definitely be, making sure that I'm not being inauthentic. Is that the word? I don't know if that's the right word.
Like genuine in the healing.
Yeah, yeah, like really going through it. Um, and that's a huge one
You mean
for.
like saying, like, yes, all is well, I've
Mhm,
healed,
mhm,
I'm
mhm.
done,
Yeah, like I'm
I'm
good.
over this, I feel
Yeah,
better.
yeah. Like no, like it's not going to be like that, and you have to really give your all to the healing process if that's where you are. And for me in particular, like I've said this on the podcast many a times, like I'm a barrier. Like I just want to like push stuff down and keep moving. Like sometimes I don't want to face some things because either I'm you know I'm scared, or I can't right now because I'm not in that headspace to do it. But the healing journey that I've been on thus far has really let me be like, okay, you got to feel it to go through this stuff. You cannot kind of sugarcoat it. You can't say you're fine. You cannot bury um feel all the feelings and get through it, because at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna heal if I'm not being real with myself.
Yeah,
Because this is a journey for me.
right. No, I agree. The honesty is a must.
Hmm.
And I think that there are certainly times where you want to acknowledge that, okay, I need healing. So then you like, okay, I'm gonna do this thing, right?
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna be healed.
Yeah.
And then you do the thing, and maybe you've made progress in your healing because it's a journey, but you may not necessarily be all the way healed.
Yeah.
But because you did the thing, you think I'm healed. I
Mhm.
got the book, I read it, I
Yeah.
underlined a bunch of stuff,
I got
I
the
saw a
book.
lot of great quotes, I
Yeah.
agreed with the quotes, right? I agreed. Now I think I'm healed. Or I prayed or I did, I fasted, but it's like, but you're still not actually healed. Maybe there's progress, but you're not um to your desired state. And I think that we do need to check in with ourselves to see, is this really, am I in a space where I'm comfortable moving forward? Am I
Mhm.
able to own and accept what happened or what didn't happen or whatever, and I'm comfortable accepting this part of myself, allowing it to be a part of my being, and continuing on. And I think what happens is we want to be, we're
Mhm.
like, I want to be healed,
Yeah, I wanna be done.
I want
Yeah.
to be done,
Yep.
I'm tired of it, I'm
Yep.
sick of it,
Yep.
I
And
don't want
why
to hurt
me?
anymore.
Right. Why me, Lord? Why
Fake it
do
till
I
you make it,
Right.
right?
Right. Why do I have to go through
Or there
this?
might be moments where you feel like you're healed, right? Because
Mm.
it's not linear.
Right,
So
right.
you feel like, oh no, I'm good. And then something happens and maybe it brings you all the way back down. So you feel like you have to start all the way over.
Yep.
Right. So I think that it is that's a good one, to be authentic and kind of check in with yourself and to see, where are you on your journey? Is the journey complete?
Mhm.
Or did it uncover something new? Did it uncover another layer? So maybe you focused on one aspect of the thing, right? So like you might have focused on, going back to the Jordan Wood thing, the cheating, but like maybe it stems from somewhere else. Like, why did I accept this from this person? Oh,
That's
do I have
good.
abandonment issues? Do I have, what is it? Why am I continuing to tolerate bad behavior, but then I keep saying I don't like this behavior?
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay, because I'm loyal. That's what I tell myself. But at what point am I being disloyal to myself? Right? What is my standard? Do I
That's
have a
good.
boundary issue? You know what I mean? It's
Right.
just, it's kind of having that conversation where you start on a journey, but it leads you to a deeper place. So then there's more to uncover and more to unpack.
Mhm. That's
So,
good. Mhm.
number 13 is that healing is your legacy,
Oh, that's
right?
beautiful.
Because a lot of times, and we posted this today, um, women are
Mhm.
raising women who have their own trauma,
Mhm.
right? Our mothers
Mhm.
had their own trauma, they raised us, and unfortunately, we inherited some of that trauma,
Yeah.
right? It's not intentional, blah, 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 but we talking about impact today,
Hey.
right?
Hey.
So
No blame games,
we
but
ain't
it is what
blaming,
it
but
is.
but here
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah.
So
Here we are.
the impact is there, and then what happens is we then have children
Mhm.
and pass on the same trauma.
Yep.
So if we choose to take a stand and heal, we can eliminate some of that trauma should we choose to. And as our kids are watching us heal, well, what did mom do? What did auntie do when they went through this thing? They had a process.
Mm.
They own their feelings. They decided to create a change. They reevaluated what who they associated with and what they allowed to even come into their home. They set up new standards. They created new boundaries. They stopped eating like this,
Yeah.
right? They started
That's good.
working out. They started taking care of their self, and not just, and Robin said this, not just self-care is in the glamorous
Mhm.
stuff, but the self-care is
The
in,
fluff.
this person is not good for me in my
Yeah.
life. This music is really bringing me down. Like, it's fun,
Mhm.
but it's really not helping me grow. And I said I wanted to grow. Sitting here and eating this food is really not serving me. It's actually tearing down my body. You know what I mean? I think
Mhm.
that's the real self care, right? Is making a real lifestyle change, because it is your legacy. Healing could be, should you choose, your legacy.
Yeah. You said so many great things that just resonated with me because those are things that I'm really intentional about, especially like the music piece. Which lately I'm like, it's this one artist, I don't even know the dude name, but his music is so depressing. Like, and every time I turn on the radio, like it's on, and I will
Mm,
immediately like I don't even change the station. I turn the whole radio off. Like
The whole all the radio gotta
all of
go.
it.
No
Like
music.
no,
Okay.
like now I don't want to hear
We
none of
clap
that.
in this car.
Right?
We do a
Like
church clap.
listen, I'm like
That's
I
it.
can't even do it. But and it's a lot of that. Like I feel like the music of today's time is very dark and depressing and very negative and I'm so in tune with it where I'm just like I cannot listen to this stuff. And even a lot of the stuff that I watch, so I don't know if it's part healing but part anxiety. Like I can't handle this new stuff because it just is too much for me to handle. um but I turn that stuff off immediately. So all these new artists, like, get some therapy because clearly y'all hurt and it is coming through in your
But they
music.
say that they make the best music, right? When people are traumatized or they're depressed or they go through because they need an outlet,
Ooh.
right? So it's art. It maybe it serves them in that purpose. But I heard Fantasia say this. Some girl came up to her and was like, "Oh, if you don't want me, don't." Like she started naming
Hmm.
Fantasia's records, and she was like, "When you gonna do that again?" And she was like, "Never."
Right.
She's like, "That's where I was. I was in a space. I don't want to be there. I'm not doing
Yes.
that. So I'm glad you liked it. I don't." And that's her own
But
music.
we are past
She was like, "We have evolved, honey. We not claiming if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. We ain't
No.
talking about no baby mama. No, I'm a
Listen,
wife. I ain't got time for that.
I am
I have
married
moved on.
in
So if
love.
it helps you, then play it.
Yes,
But it don't serve me."
yeah, same with Auntie Mary too. I think she said something along the lines of that. Now she has this new song out called like "Gorgeous Girl" or something. It's something with gorgeous, but she was just saying how like for most of her life in her adult life she didn't feel beautiful. And now she's at this place where a lot of Auntie Mary songs are very uplifting and
I want to go to
powerful.
a concert.
Yes,
Now her depressing songs with some hits.
I mean, Auntie
Bangers back
had
to
the
back. You can just
bangers.
look.
Listen, Share My World,
Man,
bangers.
banger.
Same with Keisha Cole,
Banger.
banger.
Oh, and it's funny because I was looking for the video of us when we were in Atlanta and we were in what's it called? The restaurant we were in, Candy's restaurant.
Oh, Old Lady Gang.
Old Lady Gang. And we were in the basement and they was playing Keisha Cole and we were down there singing our hearts out.
Ooh,
Okay.
if it was karaoke,
You would have thought it was Showtime at the Apollo.
It would have been cracking so hard. We sang our hearts out. You hear me? Like,
And I was like, "Oh, y'all used to talk about me and Keisha Cole, but honey, y'all are fans.
I'm just saying.
You're a fan."
And it's so funny
Knew
how
all the
that
lyrics.
song does take you to a heartbreak. Like it immediately takes you
Yes.
there. Like I know this dude like broke my heart.
It's a ballad. Like ballads in general are
This
just
was a
like
song.
sad. So
But and that's the difference between like those 90s songs. Like it was like sad, like heartbreak.
yeah.
But now it's like I want to die. Like really sad.
Oh no, that's okay. Speaking of that, so I sent you guys this girl that I was actually following on TikTok. So she was an attorney.
The Miss USA young lady.
she was Miss USA.
Yeah.
Yep, she was like getting into media and stuff. She was always putting out, nice messages or whatever. I just started following her. Then I was watching a random video and this girl's like, this beautiful girl that I just started following, like I totally fangirled over her, went to her page, and then she said, then I kept scrolling and somebody said that she died. And literally that's what that girl did to me. Like I was like, but I'm the girl who's fangirling right now,
Right.
and you are the girl who just told me that she died.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I was so shocked. Do I know the girl? No, I do not. But I was just like, what? And then they said that it was suicide.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh, well, you don't know what people are going through, but we don't need to know what people are going through to be kind.
First of all, say
We
that
don't.
again. Say it
We do
again for the
not
people in the
need-
back.
We honestly, we do not need to know what people are going through
Mm.
to be kind. Oh, if I knew you were going through that, then I would have been kinder. No, you
Right.
don't need to know.
Right.
It's none of your business.
But shouldn't you just be kind?
Or
period?
we all learned in kindergarten, if you don't have anything nice to say,
don't say nothing.
don't say it. Sometimes we need to use emotional
Mhm.
intelligence and literally STFU, like for real.
Mhm.
Like just don't say it.
Hey.
Mind your business and just be
Mm.
quiet.
Wow. Yeah, that whole story, and it's so crazy because I feel like that suicide has been, we've seen so much of it in the past couple of weeks, from that beautiful soul to Regina King's son.
Yeah.
It was another actor, his son. It's just been so much of that.
Regina King's son was suicide?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was another one. So I totally agree with you. We don't need to
You
know
don't need to know.
what they
Oh,
were
if I
going
would have known
through.
you, why do you need to know?
Right.
Just
It,
be
because that's
kind.
not
Like,
important. But your
oh, if I
kindness,
knew that,
right.
that it really hurt that bad, then I wouldn't have made fun. Just don't make fun of
Because
it.
I feel like
Like,
if you knew, then you're not being authentic. Like you're just doing it
exactly. Exactly. You
because
just don't want it on your hands. You
right.
don't want to be accountable.
Exactly.
So be accountable and be kind.
So when you don't know and because you're minding your business and you're just being a kind person, like that feels differently than you know my business and now I feel like you just trying to I don't know, just be in the mix or something and sugarcoat. No, I
Right, you
don't
don't
need
need
you
to
to
know.
do that.
People, because again, people get to go through their own journey. They get to disclose what they want to disclose. They get
Mhm.
to not disclose things that they want to keep private. They get to tell one person, five people, or 5,000, right?
Yeah.
However they choose,
Mhm.
when they choose, and on their time. If it ain't your business,
Hey, listen, it ain't your
or
business.
go get business.
Ooh.
Go get some business. Go get some
Yeah,
business.
that was so sad, man. Like I'm still thinking about that too, like every day. Like it'll just pop in my head, like, oh my gosh, like that's so unfortunate. So unfortunate. Um, but yeah, like so, like I said, like a lot of this music now is not, I'm sad because somebody broke my heart. It's like literally I want to die. Like
I didn't know that. I guess so. I don't really listen to new music except for Tim's.
okay, I like Tim's.
Because
Yeah.
she has a nice,
Yeah.
I'm going to say a tenor voice. But I love it because
Not
when I
tenor,
play sing,
mezzo tenor. What is it called?
right?
Like a higher
I don't know,
tenor.
child, but I love her voice.
Mm,
I love her voice. But some of her music is depressing.
really? See?
Yeah, some of it is like so sometimes I don't pick up on it because, like of her accent. So
Mm,
I'll go like be like, oh, lyrics, and I'll like watch it on
mm.
YouTube. Then I'll be like, I think like I was really vibing with this, but I have to and see this is where the choice
See?
comes in.
Yeah.
I have to disassociate
Yep.
myself. It doesn't mean look, it's a great record, it's great music. She has
Yeah.
a beautiful voice, but honey, I can't do this.
Girl, yeah. That's
This
be
is
the
not
part.
good for me.
Yes, because it's going in my subconscious, and then
It
it's
was good
like,
for her when she made it. Maybe she needed to release. I don't
yeah,
know. It doesn't take it away from her talents
mm,
at all. But
yeah.
we can't do this.
Nah,
We not in that season.
don't you do. I'm telling you, anytime I
Right?
hear something that sound a little dark, I'm like, turn off. Like I
Right.
can't. We
Yeah.
can't go with this
Yeah.
because
And it's kind of like melancholy,
yeah,
I'd say.
yeah.
Is maybe the word that I would use to describe it. But yeah, and I think again, I was like, yes, and then I was
Hmm.
like,
Listen,
no,
you didn't seen them lyrics
mm-mm.
like this.
Right, because a lot of it too, I think, is about what you accept. You know how
Yeah.
just like how they always say like you're not who you attract, you're who you accept.
Mm.
And I think that comes in tune with everything that we interface with. Like, okay, just because the
Mhm.
new movie came out, I don't gotta go see it.
Yep.
Just because the new series is out and everybody's talking about it, okay, if that's not what I'm on, that's not what I'm trying to do, I don't need to engage.
Very
Just
much
because this
so.
new record dropped, I remember Sarah Jakes Roberts was talking about how she like always wanted to go to a Beyonce concert, and
Mhm.
she went and she was like, I did it. I wanted to go, always wanted to go. And then she said she found herself sitting there like, 3 years ago, I would have had a ball. But right now,
Mm.
don't mean the music isn't good, right?
Mm.
It doesn't mean it wasn't a great concert, but it's just like, I'm just not
I'm in a different
here right
place.
now. Right.
Yeah.
I'm just not, this is just not where I am.
I could
It
totally
just
see
doesn't
that.
align.
Yep.
Right.
I could
Now,
totally
me
see
on the other
that.
hand, sign me up for the Beyonce. Sign me up for the Beyonce concert.
See, I don't know. I feel like at
No.
35, I'm out like y'all screaming and doing too much. Like, first of all, I'm be like, it's loud in here. Like, that's how old
Yeah,
I
I
am.
will. And but see, and it's crazy because this weekend, I was at Cooper Hawk. I
Okay.
was there with some girls, and
Yeah.
we were talking about Dreas
Okay.
and I was like, and they were like, oh, well, didn't you feel like the bungalows were so far away, like where you were sitting from the concert? And I was like, no, because I want my own space.
Listen,
I don't want elbow to elbow. I don't want people in my face.
we are not.
I'm not there.
We not there.
I don't want like, and it's crazy
uh,
because I remember the first concert that I ever went to was actually at the rave.
okay.
Right.
Ooh.
So,
Ooh.
rave, there's no
No
sitting room. It's
seats.
standing up. I
Yeah.
probably was 14, 15, 16, something like that. But
Who was
so
it? I'm nosy.
was it B2K?
Really?
I think it was my brother. It was like for my birthday. My brother got me
Oh wow.
tickets. Yeah, I think it was B2K.
Oh wow.
Wait, what were they called before B2K?
They was B2K.
Oh, it was B2K first?
Or I'm like, you went to an immature concert? Like, where did you
Or was it,
go?
maybe it was in Georgia? I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with B2K.
Okay.
I'm going to say that it
That
was
was high
B2K.
school. Sure.
Okay, so yeah, it was probably B2K. But yeah, so I was totally like,
Ooh,
shoulder to
elbow.
shoulder.
See.
Some people could spill their drinks on you, smoke in your hair,
See,
all of
no.
that. I don't have the patience, the time, the tact
No.
for that.
No.
I don't have it.
Not at 35.
So I don't have it to
35-year-old
give.
me can't do that. No.
I don't. I need space. I want to sit. I want to mind my business.
Listen,
And that's
I
it.
definitely want
I
to sit
want to
down.
enjoy. Exactly. I just want to,
Your girl sitting.
I want to choose. Like if I want to engage, then I'll get up and engage. If I want to hang back, then I want to do what I want to do in the moment that I want to do it. And
in
that's it.
comfort. And I will pay the top
I will pay top tier
to do that. That's healing and that's peace.
That is peace. That's what it is. It's the peace.
It's the peace.
It's the peace. That's the word right there.
Yes.
It's the peace.
Because I think my first concert was Rock the Mic,
because
it was like
because I'm not gonna sit here and be complaining like, oh my god, there's the smoke, because I hate smoke. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna sit here and be complaining all night, and then y'all gonna have to hear me complaining. Nobody wants to do that.
Yes.
Who wants to do that?
I cannot remember where I was, but I was no. No. I was at a bar here in Milwaukee. So after my son's birthday, I think I told you about it. So we was at the bar, and the DJ was playing music. It was people in there. It was kind of vibing, but it was so loud in there. And I think I told you, like, I just kept saying, like, turn the music down. Like, I never felt 35 more 35.
When it's too loud and it's too crowded
at the bar. Like, I was really like, turn it down. Like it's too loud.
That's so funny because that was my thought about Summerfest. Like I was like, I don't know. There's always a big crowd, and I don't know if I want to do that. And
girl, yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, walking through that, I was like, oh no. What do we get into?
And you know what? That's also what we said when we were going to Cancun and we were getting that cabana. We were like, can we just buy all the seats? Like,
right.
And then we just won't use them. It'll just be us because we really want a private one. We don't want people on here.
We don't know.
We want our space.
We don't want to be with y'all, okay?
It's COVID. Stay over there. And and honestly, now I hate all the tragedy that COVID has brought on. But what I have learned and actually what I've appreciated is that people respect my space more. And I am very much a person like, don't come in my bubble. If you were not invited, if you don't really know me, you need to stay away.
Good.
Like don't touch me. Like stay away. Mind your business.
That is like one of boundaries. The best things that's come from
that is one of the best things because I feel like in grocery stores and malls or whatever, people just get too close. And I'm like, I'm a person
for no reason.
And you're literally moving around me like I'm not here.
Yeah. For no reason. So yeah.
So yes, unless I invite you in, you need to stay away.
Please. Like we hate it. Because that's the worst. But nah. Yeah. Boundaries. Major keys in this healing process, and something you will learn as you're going through it.
It's the boundaries for
me.
And Keisha Jones talked about that. Keisha Jones, the therapist, when she was on, she talked about that.
Yeah,
the boundaries. She said, y'all need to make that into a shirt or a bag or something.
Okay, we do. That's coming. We should. It's the boundaries for me.
It's the boundaries for me.
And it's always the healing for us too.
It's always the healing.
Yeah, take what you need, keep what you don't need, all of that stuff. But, this is for us and for you guys who are listening. But like we said, take what you need. If you don't need everything, that's cool. But take what we giving out here. Share it. Live it. Because we trying to too.
We have 13. I think we
expanded cool.
And we may have gotten a few extra, but let's do our to-go box.
We should post these too.
What are we taking away?
Definitely, wow, thinking through this, the 13 things that I never knew about healing, definitely made me reflect on just this journey as a whole. And it was good to vocalize the 13 things that we didn't know because it may or may not help somebody else who's in their journey. We don't want you to get shocked or discouraged or, feel like you're in this by yourself. Like we're all at some point in a healing journey. We've been through it. We're going to continue to go through it, and just you are not alone. So I think again, this is great that we were able to share this on our platform because somebody out there needs this. And I think I needed this too, to kind of hear it verbalized that these are the things that I didn't know, but I can keep going. And I know I'm not alone in that.
Mm, I think my takeaway is to document where you are and assess it. You know what I mean? Because then you can, it's, I think with healing, it's hard to see progress. I really do. I think it's hard to see progress because
That's
you really
good.
don't know you've healed until you either do something very radical or until you're faced with the same issue that brought you down and you are unmoved,
Yeah.
right? So I think it can be very difficult to see your growth and to see your to see the way that you mature. But if
Mm-hmm.
you are diligent in journaling, then you can write down little things like, today I was in the car and Keisha Cole came on and that's my girl, but I had to turn that stuff off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's not what I want. I'm not calling in that energy anymore. I'm not aligned with that. So why am I going to keep connecting to something that I am not aligned with? Right. And I think that that's where you know that you are healed, when you can actually articulate and actually identify what's different, right?
Yeah.
The old me used to do this, but the new me, she can't do that
Oh,
anymore,
that's good.
right?
Yeah.
And what are you putting down? Because if you're picking up something new, you have to release something old.
Mm.
So I think that when you get to that point, that's where you can at least see, like, okay, I used to eat like this. I used to stop at McDonald's on my way home from the podcast every Monday, but now your girl goes and gets on the treadmill. Ooh, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because things happen sometimes very slowly.
Yeah.
So you might not even catch it,
Yep.
you
Mm.
know?
That's
And that in
good.
itself becomes your testimony. Like, I used to do this. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
doing that no more. You know, and then when you find yourself, when something happens and then you find yourself at McDonald's, you can be like, wait a minute, what triggered me? Why am I here?
Yeah.
Right. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we can't do that if we don't know what our new pattern is. If we can't even identify that we've created a new pattern, sometimes it's hard to see the slippage
Mm.
back into the old way. So now you just up 30 pounds because you just
Yep.
went back to McDonald's and you did it every week for 13 weeks.
Yeah. Mm.
Right. And then you just like, oh, and people say this also, I don't even know what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't gain 20. I
How did
don't
I
even know
get
what happened.
here?
Well, if you were paying attention and self-reflecting, right? And
Mm.
keeping your eyes, minding your business.
Hey, that part.
Keeping your eyes on you, then you
Listen,
could see,
where you
right?
didn't slip and
Where you
fall and
changed.
can't get up.
Where you changed. And
Mm-hmm.
then, or you could see that I have not changed, but I want to change. So what am I going to do to be
Mm.
different?
That's the one. Yeah.
Right? What am I
Yeah.
going to do to be different? What am I going to make a conscious effort to do
To
to
be
be different?
different.
And shouts out to Fitbrit. That's who my toast
Oh
should be to.
yeah.
Fitbrit
Woo-hoo,
has been
snapping.
on it, honey. Okay. Every day I be like, well, I got to at least get 10,000 steps because Fitbrit is out here doing the most.
When I say snapping, you hear me?
Yes. And
Snapping.
transforming
And
too,
and
by the way.
and she has more stuff than I like. She works full time. She has a husband. She has a young
A whole
daughter.
child.
So it's just like, girl, what makes you any different than what she doing? Like, she busy too, just like you busy. Like,
Yeah.
get your life.
But she look, that's consistency right
Woo!
there.
If consistency was a person,
It's
yes,
the consistency for me.
yeah, she's
And
definitely
this one
killing
day
it.
she didn't post, and I was like, and then she posted later, and then I text her like, not, or did I? I think we was in a group chat, and I was
Mhm.
like, or maybe I put it on her post, and she was like, "Nah, girl, I'm just out of town. I'm just in Vegas, so
Yeah,
time zone. Look, time zone
and
change,
she
but
still
I'm
got it
still
in.
doing it.
Yes.
Okay, there's a gym at this hotel. I'm like, all right,
If discipline was a person, that's what it is, man. Her
yes,
discipline is on another level. Same thing with Keith
exactly,
and his running. Like, the discipline is just top
yes. Shouts
tier.
out to the Podfather at the
Listen,
Good News Radio.
yes, who's also, got 2 kids, a wonderful woman, a whole business. Like, what is my excuse? Like,
Right.
get your life. So yeah, that was good.
But he put down, if you, I don't know if you listened to if you heard him back when he was talking about his journey on Monday morning, he was like, I had to stop smoking. I'm gonna run.
Yeah.
So I gotta, it was the whole idea of what am I going to give up here to achieve what it is I say I want.
That's good. Yeah,
Because he was just like,
bro was
it
a
don't look,
smoker.
it ain't serving me no more.
I'm just saying.
I hope he's not listening. Oh God, no. Oh, thanks for tuning in to Brush Your Business Podcast. Well, we don't get kicked off the network.
Right. I said, first of all, now y'all
Jeez.
out.
Thanks for tuning in to Brush Your Business Podcast. Until next time, peace.
Peace.